Welcome to Nerd Talk with Kurt, and I'm your host, Mike. I guess we're both hosts, aren't we? We're co-hosts.
Sure.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what's up in the world of nerdiness this week.
Okay. Well, first of all, we want to say a lot of people were probably expecting to see George in Cannabis Then and Now, but he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
So stick around. Anyway.
Yes, because we'll be incredibly entertaining to all of you stoned folk out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you would, do it recreationally, but
One would. Yeah.
So, that's a really nice Doctor Who scarf.
Oh, thank you. I do a lot of Doctor Who cosplay at conventions. I go to a lot of conventions, and
I used to go to a lot of conventions. I used to, especially down in DC, CastleCon, EveCon, back in like the late '80s, early '90s, and I used to have a good time. I used to remember this one time I met this. I was at this whole Star Trek convention, and this the one woman had the green body paint on, and I just remember coming home the next day and realizing I was like, she never put the sealant on it. I was completely smeared with it across the front of me. So.
that happens. There's the show Homestuck was pretty big in the conventions not too long ago, and there are people who wouldn't seal their blue or gray paint, and they'd come up to someone in a very elaborate costume and go, "Oh my goodness, I love you," and hug, and I don't know whether it was intentional or what, but yeah.
I have not seen this show, so I've been hearing about it. But what's the basis? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. All I know is there's lots of cosplay of it.
Okay.
Which is strange to only know a show from cosplay. It's like knowing a song only by the Weird Al parody.
Like White and Nerdy.
Yeah.
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 Well, have you? Have you seen the guy? I actually know this guy, Brandon, the guy who does the Mick Thor. He does like this. He does like this mashup of like Ronald McDonald and Thor.
I saw him at Rhode Island, I think.
It
was New York. It was incredible. Yeah.
I know him from the goth clubs. It's like from when they used to have a goth night down the street here.
Yeah. Were you going to the goth clubs back in the day? When were you going?
Well, I grew up around DC, so I didn't get here till right around 2000. When I first moved up here, I was living between Fairfield County and the Bronx. But once I moved up to New Haven, like around 2000, late 2002, early 2003, I started hanging out and DJing at the clubs and stuff like that too. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
I was hanging out in the goth clubs around New Haven and Norwalk back in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I moved to Albuquerque, and the goth scene from there, it was very strange. I know this was supposed to be nerd talk, and we're getting a little gothy here for a second.
Goths are nerds. Let's really face it.
Yeah.
Goths are really nerds. They typically are just kind of D&D players, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
So the goths around here were all very much like, no, we're not going to smile, we're going to dance, and we're not going to look like we're having a good time while we're dancing, even though we're having a great time. But in Albuquerque, it seemed like the goths there were very much, they all knew each other since middle school. and so they were all bright and cheerful. They were all perky goths. It was a really strange shift.
What I found really interesting about coming here is like growing up in DC, all the goths were like, had evolved from like this whole punk thing. And we went to, and we did, up here they're all like these metalheads. It was really a bizarre thing that, like all these goth kids are all like headbangers in metal, so.
It's changed a lot, and now I see a bunch of the people that used to be in goth doing a lot of steampunk.
Yes.
Like goth grew up.
Yes, actually, one of the big players in the whole steampunk scene, Evelyn used to do a lot of promotion for what was that club right there on Center Street that everybody used to go to? It was long before I got there. They used to have this night called Dark Carnival or something like that.
Yeah, there was Dark Carnival. I forget whether that was the New Haven one or the Norwalk one. Or
that was the New Haven one. In this.
And they used to always end the night with playing Dead Can Dance Carnival is Over. Well, not always. Back in the 90s they did.
Okay. Yeah, I used to. I don't know. It's changed. It's really kind of. I mean, it's. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say it's changed because everybody's still playing all the same stuff from the '90s. Everybody's still playing Front 242. You still go there and you still hear Manhunter. You hear Manhunter. You hear Blue Monday from New Order, and I got so frustrated one time. The last time I DJ'd at a goth club, and now I'm kind of not allowed to DJ anymore. I spun Jay-Z because I was just so frustrated at playing the same things over and over again. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. So, yeah, it's, and goth has got a whole thing. And there's like this whole weird anime thing with a lot of vampires and this strange, bizarre way that a lot of, I shouldn't say it's bizarre and strange, just the way Japanese culture tries to interpret things like, Christianity and the whole vampire thing, and how, interesting it is to see some of these. It's been a long time since I've seen any of them, but where American like horror films, it's like, teenagers are kind of punished for having sex in the car, or they're like the first ones get knocked off, and in Japan, that kind of thing is, it's not as frowned upon. It's not seen as, they're not quite as.
And Japanese horror seems to be not so concerned that it needs an explanation. Like the same director did the Japanese version of The Grudge and the English version of The Grudge.
Yeah.
And the only difference was that in the English version, they added a scene of explanation of why this ghost was so angry.
Well, yeah, but if you notice that you always have to they always seem to have to do that in like American cinema and American television. I mean, you're watching like these procedural films, these procedural shows. So they have like these people who do things like, and they'll go and they'll take like 5 minutes out of the show to explain to you what's happening. Where you would think that if they were better screenwriters and they were better, filmmakers, because essentially that's what televisions are, just short films.
Yeah.
You would think if they're better filmmakers, you would just be able to infer that from what they were talking about.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I agree. A lot of the, I'm so glad that reality films or reality shows are starting to like be on the wane. They're starting to go down. Stations have realized that content matters.
Yeah.
Because the thing that always used to bug me when I would fall into the trap of watching one of these, even a good one like Mythbusters, is the reset after the commercials, where you have to explain everything that's happened and show the same footage over again that you just saw before the commercial.
And I find that really frustrating when I watch, I guess it is reality TV. I was just trying to think of what show I was thinking about where they do the reset, and it was Project Runway, which is, one of the few shows that talks about aesthetics and, the applied theory of aesthetics and things like that. Where they don't do that is in a really good reality show is it's something else. It's called something else in America because Pillsbury owns the Bake Off, but it's the British Bake Off show. So they've been airing it on PBS, and it's amateurs, and it's not like these professionals are like, looking to get their career started. It's just kind of like almost like a game show, and it's absolutely hilarious. British comedian Sue Perkins, she was on this show called the Supersizers, and which is another good reality show where they basically went through different periods of time, and they would dress in period clothes, and they would discuss the food at the time period, but which you can see on like Netflix or something like that. But the Great British Bake Off is great because they don't constantly do the reset. And it's a lot less high stakes too. It's more fun. It's more, kind of British.
Cool. But, we were talking before about commercials.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about a commercial you were doing that you had done or worked on in the past.
Oh yeah. Actually, I was doing a television broadcast class, and part of it was having to do a commercial and edit it and put it together. And I took the idea of Crazy Al, and instead of having Crazy Al just kind of be like, "Oh, our prices are so low," I decided to make the store owner actually crazy. clinically insane. So I got my good buddy Seth Shine. I'll give him a plug. He's and I filmed him, and I basically made an absurdist version of the Crazy Owl commercials with, except it's Crazy Irv.
That's cool. Do we have that?
Oh,
All right.
Awesome. We've got it.
Can we run it?
No.
Peter,
I
enough
know
with the
my
rope.
competition.
Also wants ice cream.
No, Peter, it's
Look at
too
it.
close to dinner time.
Get
it.
ice cream anyway.
Look at
Don't you dare.
it. TV.
All right, but I'll be back in a moment. There's another movie thing.
Don't believe us? Just ask his doctor.
25. Need input. Input is ice cream.
I think
I think
that's something else.
I think we got a little bit of Family Guy in there mixed in.
Yeah.
I really hope George's fans are watching, because I think that would have been a really kind of great little
All right.
piece of entertaining for it.
It
So
seems
while
they're
we're
gonna
waiting for-
try and play that again.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they have it cleared up now.
Oops, need to hit the microphone. Well, while they're getting it queued up.
Okay.
Yeah.
know.
Oh, there we go.
I know my competition's out to get me. Look at this LG refrigerator. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that LG. Look at it. TV. LC.
Don't believe us? Just ask his doctor. While his competitors might price things so low, you might question their rationality. Irving here is clinically insane. It's Crazy Irvs.
Wow. Yeah. Right on the head.
Yeah, we were trying to. I was trying to come up with a way to end up doing like a corpse and things like that, where he pulls a knife out of it and starts licking the blade. But I could only do so much, you know.
Yeah.
It was a zero budget. It's even my mother-in-law's curtains in the background. So
But sometimes it's the best kind of stuff. Is the stuff you just do at home.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
yeah. Well, you were telling me about when you did about the park.
There's a little park here in Hamden. Well, in Hamden, or in New Haven now. That it's Ernest Borgnine Park, and I had some visitors from out of town, and they said, "Oh, let's go see Ernest Borgnine Park." And so we actually drove over there, and it turned out to be like this empty lot. And so we filmed it, and then we made a little very short PSA about it. And I don't know if we have that ready or not.
Kids, what's that behind the dumpsters?
Ernest Borgnine Park, don't go there in the dark. A bum or three will take a wee at Ernest Borgnine Park.
Offer not valid in Nevada.
Excellent. That's fantastic. That's how I feel about a lot of these parks. You know, you've got these like little areas where they like take 10 square feet
And put some flowers on it and call it a park. And,
and
if they named it a median,
yeah, but if they, and I'm sorry, but Ernest Borgnine deserves a much bigger space than that.
Yes.
Anybody who goes on Fox and Friends and claims that his secret of longevity on his 90th birthday is touching himself inappropriately every single day is
Wow. Did he?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, not did he actually, but did he say
yeah,
that?
he
Wow.
said that. Yes, and
That's wonderful.
yeah. If you say so.
No, I'm trying to imagine how they would have reacted. Fox
okay.
and Friends.
Yeah, they were a little taken back. I was good thing you're. Apparently
have
they have
that?
the clip there.
Apparently we have a clip.
You're 91 years old. You look fantastic. You look like you're in your late 60s, early 70s. What's the secret?
I don't dare tell you.
No meat. You don't eat meat.
I masturbate a lot.
Okay, I think. Thank you, Ernie. That was great.
I actually heard that.
Ernie, have you ever been on YouTube before?
Listen. Yesterday.
What are you talking?
It went all over the place.
Okay, we're going to take a quick time out. He'll be in the After the Show show. Log on to foxandfriends.com.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think just because of that, he deserves a much bigger park.
Definitely. Never mind his body of work.
Well,
performing,
Airwolf. Airwolf from the 80s. That
but He was
a.
in basketball.
He was in basketball. He was. He was also in McHale's Navy.
Yes, he was in a lot of good movies also.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember I was flipping channels one night and there was a movie on, and I forget the title of it, but the entire description, they showed the description on the info button was Ernest Borgnine is fantastic. Period. That was the entire description.
Well, you know who else is from Connecticut is Robert Mitchum.
Yes.
He's from Bridgeport. So isn't De Niro from? Is it De Niro or not De Niro? Christopher Walken. He's from Connecticut. I don't know, but I know. Is it De Niro? That's not De Niro. Not De Niro. The other guy.
I actually watched a video about this the other day about when you get tongue-tied and it's on the tip of your tongue, and what to do with it is actually if someone knows what it is, if they make the noise, the beginning noise of the word, but I had no clue who you were.
There was always De Niro and the other guy were always like kind of
Pesci?
No, not Pesci. They're kind of like in a friendly little competition. They used to do like the gangster stuff. Pacino, Al Pacino.
Pacino.
That's it. Al Pacino. Al Pacino, everybody.
Al Pacino.
That's who we're looking for. Yeah, I think it was Al Pacino's from Connecticut. I think he's from Bridgeport. Bridgeport, and we'll have you know that Bridgeport is number one in. Who is that? Al Pacino? Where's that picture from? That looks more like I don't know. But Bridgeport, where Al Pacino's from. That's number one in abandoned gas stations and broken windows.
Yes, it would be.
Oh, great. Okay.
I remember a few years ago, my wife, before we were married, and we were just dating, she was coming over on the ferry, and she was getting off the ferry in Bridgeport, and I was late, and all I could think was, I just heard on the news a few weeks before that Father Panic Village was the murder capital of the world or something, and that's basically where she was.
When was this, like the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, they used to say that about D.C. all the time, too. When I was growing up in D.C., that was, D.C. is the murder capital, and they used to always have the numbers every week about how many people were killed and everything like that. And, I don't know, I got held up a couple times in D.C., nothing.
Wow. They actually held up, and what happened? Thankfully, I've never experienced that.
There was one time where a buddy of mine and I were getting out of the car, and I was in the passenger seat, he was driving, and the guy came up behind my buddy and put a knife to his throat and basically said, all right, I need you guys to just take your wallets and lay down on the ground. And he did, and he ran off.
Wow.
And from that point forward, I kept all my money and all that stuff in my shoe.
Oh.
And I would keep a wallet. I'd get one of those cheap wallets from the dollar store for like, and keep like a $5 bill in there.
You're going to have to change that because now everyone in New Haven, all 9 of them that are watching right now, know that you keep your money in your shoe now.
I don't have any cash on me anymore.
Okay.
So I just remember I went to go see the Butthole Surfers at the 930 Club, the old 930 Club. In case you don't know, the 930 Club in D.C. is about twice the size of Toad's now. But it used to be a hole in the wall. It was about the size of Cafe 9. Well, if Cafe 9 was 2 stories, but it was about the size of Cafe 9. And I went to go see the Butthole Surfers, and they stole my ticket. They had bought ahead of time.
That was in your wallet?
That was in my hip pocket.
Oh, man.
Yes. And
you should have gone to the show to see if you could find the guy and beat him up.
I don't think he was a big fan because we saw him later trying to sell my ticket.
Oh, okay.
And he reluctantly handed it back.
Oh.
But we gave him $10 to go get something to eat. Go get something to eat. So
yes, yeah,
But that spot there's like a little park right. 930 Club is right between 10th and 9th and 10th Street on F Street in D.C. and they used to have this little park that was between 10th and 11th. And for some reason, we were idiots and kept walking through the park, and it was like a little, wasn't even like a park, it was just like a little paved area, and where cars couldn't drive over, and like idiots, we just keep walking through there.
What they should have done is named that park after some actor from the 50s and 60s.
They could have. They could have. Vincent Price Park.
Yes.
So, yeah. So anyway, you know, speaking of stuff from the 50s and 60s, and this has nothing to do with that at all. What kind of music do you listen to? Any more like, you know, modern, maybe even like obscure music? You said you went to the goth clubs.
I used to go to the goth clubs a lot, but I don't find myself listening to a lot of that these days. Occasionally, I listen to Front 424 or
242.
242, or some Wumpscut or something like that. But
well, do you ever do any like? Have you listened to any of the newer stuff like Magnetic Fields or Neural Milk Hotel or something like that? Kind of like the new
Neural Milk Hotel.
Yeah.
My friends have a great band, Pocket Vinyl. They're incredible if you can see them. They've actually played Cafe Nan a couple times.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, you know, you might dig a local band is Procedure Club if you get a chance to see them.
Okay.
They're really good. If you like really obscure stuff, check out the Tet Offensive.
Okay.
They're a string quartet with a drummer and a lead singer. And the lead singer is lead singer is the manager of the Yale Symphony Orchestra. And also, I actually have a project that I call Mr. Heartbreak. It's all electronic. It's named after the Laurie Anderson album.
Oh wow!
So
love that album, but
yeah, it's a good album. That was one of my favorites. That one and Big Science are probably two of my favorite albums of all time. And unfortunately, Big Science was already taken. So I took Mr. Heartbreak, and it's a lot of kind of melodic soundscapes. And I've been, to add a little bit more nerdiness to it, I've been actually starting to build some of my own synths. I've been taking 555 timer chips and building my own oscillators. So I'm hoping to start incorporating some of that in some of my show, where I actually have some literally homemade chips that I'm making, synthesizers I'm making from scratch on breadboards.
that's great. I mean, actually, that goes back to like when someone would actually carve their own instrument. It's the same sort of thing now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, except I'm not, I mean, it's close to it. I'm not actually like, doing any of my own silicone.
You're not taking it that far back.
Yeah. The logic gates already built and put on the chips and everything like that, and transistors and everything. So.
Well, I mean, someone made the paint for Da Vinci.
That's true. That's
So.
true. That's true. I don't know if I would really compare myself to Da Vinci, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, just it's the medium for the art.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what have you been? You've been working. You work with puppets, don't you?
I do some work with puppets and music. I have a group called Glum Puppet. I don't know if you have enough time to show one of our videos, probably, but stay tuned. We can. We're going to have some stuff up here on this channel at some point.
Fantastic.
The Ornisburg 9 Park was from our Glum Puppet channel, where. Oh,
okay.
We can go out on the have a potato piece.
Oh,
okay.
Fantastic! I'd love to see your stuff.
All right, this is something I put together. I have these two characters, Slappy and Tony, and they normally have a cooking show, but things went a little weird in this particular one. And let's go ahead and roll that.
All right, or
not, or almost.
Now, cooking with Slappy and Tony.
Hi, I'm Slappy McKean. And I'm Tony Maloney. And today, DJ Swine Flu. Drop the beat.
Run home from school in order to be able to see Mikhail's neighbor. And I had mothers write to me and say,
I'm Tony
I know
Baloney, and
exactly
I'm here
where my
to
boy
say,
is
why
when
don't
McHale's
you
Maybe is
have
on.
a potato
Because they were watching
today? Have
McHale's
them
Maybe.
baked or mashed or scalloped or fried or rotten or lots of sour cream on the side. They are kind of starchy, they might make you fat. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They won't make you fart like cabbage or beans. They won't make you smell like flapping.
Yeah, McHale's Navy in the
Is that McHale's
background.
Navy? Wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
well,
we're gonna
apparently we're
play
going to do it
it
again
again?
once
Okay.
we've got
All
our
right.
now that we've got our
That
stuff
was
going.
amazing, though. It was like a mashup. Of
It was.
completely unintended.
with Slappy and Tony.
Hi, I'm Slappy McKean.
And I'm Tony Baloney, and today
DJ Swine Flu, drop the beat.
I'm Tony Baloney, and I'm here to say, why don't you have a potato today? Have them baked or mashed or scalloped or fried or gratin or like a sour cream on the side. They are kinda starchy, they might make you fat. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They won't make you fart like a cabbage or bean. They won't make you smell like Slappy McKean.
My name is Slappy, I'm always never happy. I don't like to rhyme, so this song might be crappy. The girls check me out and say, yeah, whatever. Last time I had a date was the 14th of never. Kinda dumb and ignorant, even though pigs are intelligent. But you don't have to study Socrates or Mr. Plato. Just chill out, watch the tube, and have a potato. Have a potato. Have a potato. Have a potato.
Watching the tube with my tuber in my hand. First domesticated in Peru and Bolivia, prompted population growth and other trivia.
The Great Irish Famine was caused by potato blight, and that Mr. Potato Head guy is out of sight.
I'm not like Dan Quayle at the spelling bee, cause I know that potato doesn't end in a knee.
We're Slappy,
and Tony, the best of buds, and we're telling you now to have a spud. Have a potato. Have a potato. Have a potato. Have a potato.
Oh, we lost the
Okay.
sound.
Oh,
So that was that. I was
That was-
actually inspired by listening to a lot of D. Antwoord. If you could believe it, that's listening to a lot of D. Antwoord and translating it to pigs. I don't know if we're on. Or we need
interesting.
to wrap it
Yeah,
up,
I think we're supposed to wrap it up. But
Okay,
that
all
was
right.
a riot. So, anyway, it was really good talking to you. It was really good talking
Yeah,
to you.
good talking to you.
Yeah,
I'm
right on.
glad we did this. All right, maybe we'll turn into a thing.
Yes.
Every time cannabis isn't on, you'll have us.
Or maybe we could do it. Yeah, we could do that. Or we should just do it
We could make
instead
it a
and just
real
not
show.
tell anybody.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.
Night.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We lambda, lambda.